Hey guys, Regular Guy Firearms here with another video today. Today I'm going to do a video on why everyone should own a Mosin Nagant. This is probably one of my favorite guns, and it's also one of my cheaper guns. You can get these things anywhere from, I don't know, $100 to $200 to $300 depending on what you're looking for in them. They're really great rifles. They're nice and cheap. Ammo is cheap. You can run around and get this just C7.62 by 5.4. This is I think this is insignia around the silver tip. But you can get all types of this ammo for cheap. Just looking right now, you can get a 440 round little can of it for $134. Prices vary. That's just one of the first ones that I saw. So they're nice and cheap. It looks, some of these will come clipped, so if they are clipped, you can load them pretty quick. For those of you that aren't aware of the clipped styles, if you did have the clip, you just slide them right in here. There's grooves, and you can push all 5 rounds down at once. If you don't have the clipped version, you use same thing. Slide them in, push them in, round in the chamber, take it out. So that's that. A few reasons as to why I like this gun. First off, it's the only bolt action rifle I actually own. Something about a bolt action and just kind of loading that around yourself is kind of pleasing. Also, being a bolt action, it does have a magazine here. I believe it's 4 or 5 rounds. And then I really just like the wood grain. It has a lot of character in it. Mine, I do have a repair mark here, but other than that, the rifle is in pretty good condition. When I first got it, I shot it in the rain a little bit, and all of the finish came right off. So I removed the rest of the finish, and I stained it myself with my dad, and we just got a nice color, I think, that goes pretty well with the black and the polished bolt. So one thing to look out for on these Mosins, I have a round receiver. The quality on the round receivers are said to be a little bit lesser than the quality on the hex receivers. So just this area right here would be in the shape of a hex. So pretty obvious. So one thing I do like about them is the history. I have, let's see, mine is a 1942/50. So it was made in 1942. Made in Russia, obviously. M91-30. They just have a lot of history in them. You can look up the markings. If I scroll down here, I'm on 762x54art.net. This kind of just tells me where my rifle was made based off of the stamp here. You guys probably can't see it very well, but it looks like, I'm going to fail to pronounce this very well, but I think it's an Ishvek is the name of the, I'm not sure if that's a city or just a station, but it's a Soviet Union rifle. They have markings all over the place. I lost some of mine a little bit with refinishing, but there's some on the bottoms. They also have all the serial numbers stamped in. Mine is all matching minus the steel butt plate. The guy that sold me mine had a rubber plate on there. I kind of like the pure feeling of this rifle, so I went and bought a steel plate. Again, it's like a $150 rifle. I don't really mind the numbers not matching, but I think it's a little more of a pure shooter, and it's just kind of, I just like shooting it better with the steel plate. Things to look out on these when you are looking for yourself. The surplus ammo is corrosive, so if I were you, I would take some sort of cloth and use the rod that it comes with and just kind of take a wipe and see how corrosive it is. You can also remove the barrel, which I will do in a different video, or you can remove the upper with the barrel and you can look down it and see how corrosive it is. Mine does have some corrosion like most Mosins, but mine was in pretty good shape. It's pretty accurate and it's a good shooter. Other things to look at, you can inspect your bolt. You can also check out the magazine well area. This comes out, there's just a press, like a little push button there, comes out like that, and then if you squeeze it, it comes right out. So you can just check in here to make sure it's well lubed, no rusting, no corrosion or anything like that. You shouldn't run into anything like that, but just an easy and good place to check. Make sure your bolt is smooth. Once the trigger is pulled, it is kind of mine's pretty hard to get the bolt back up, but you get used to it. So just be aware of that. The more lube you put on here, sometimes the better it kind of smooths out there. Other than that, there's a bunch of accessories that you can get with them. A bayonet. I do have a bayonet. I have to find it. I think it's downstairs, but it's just kind of cool to have that bayonet and some of those accessories. That bayonet also doubles as a screwdriver to get these flatheads out for when you're tearing down. I thought there was should be another flathead. If I remove the bolt, this one flathead screw right there as well. So the gun itself is all self-sufficient in that regard. You can use everything that is on the gun to break the gun down for cleaning, which is pretty cool. But outside of that, the Mosin Nagant is just a really nice cheap shooter. It's got a lot of kick, but it feels like a really pure gun, so I kind of like that kick myself. Parts are cheap, the guns are cheap. That's kind of why I didn't mind shooting it out in the rain the first time. When anything really happened, I'd just buy another one for 150 bucks. So that, guys, is the Mosin Nagant. Again, it shoots a 7.62 by 54R, R for Russian. It's a really nice shooting rifle, really cheap rifle, and really a pretty good beginner's bolt action rifle for anyone. You know, if you're 18 to 40, you can afford it. And shooting's pretty cheap, as I said earlier. I think you can get that for almost the price of like 9mm or 223, somewhere in that range. So ammo's cheap, the gun's fun. You just gotta make sure you clean out that corrosive ammo. You can also get the new manufactured ammo that is a little cleaner, not non-corrosive. So just a couple of things to look out there for, and just a couple of reasons that I think the Mosin Nagant is probably one of the guns that, if you're a gun guy turning into a gun guy, this is probably a gun that you want to get and test out. So I want to thank you guys for watching. As always, if you guys like these videos, just kind of the more tabletop review type video, please feel free to leave me some recommendations, or just leave me a like and a subscribe. Thanks, guys.